Hello to everyone listening. Uncle Jiggy is here with you. One thing about life is that in this modern world, in this modern society that we are right now, a lot of people is fighting to be heard, while few is fighting to listen. One thing about listening is that listening is actually an act of humility, and listening it helps you to learn. I don't know if you understand. So now our generation is kind of fighting to listen, and I think that is one of it's something to deal with for the next generation, so that they can actually understand what this is all about. And of course, welcome to the Next Generation Orientation Podcast. And today's topic, we're talking about fighting to listen, and it's not just me here. I told you guys already that I always bring in people that I call the intellectual personalities, and today's episode, I'm here with Priest, the only man we no greet your father in Japa from the yeah, brother, have fun. Welcome back.
Yo, I told you I'm gonna be back, and now I'm back. It's good to be here. I love the energy. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, talking about this topic, fighting to listen. And I know you specifically pointed that topic. Even the first time you came, you pointed this topic, so I was kind of.
Correct.
And I know that listening is an essential part of human communication. I don't know if you understand. Yes, some people just listen to listen. Some people just listen to understand, to actually comprehend. I don't know if you understand. So
Right.
it's a kind of a two different thing, that you just want to give this person attention. You're just listening, but you're not listening. And there's a different thing that you are actually listening. You are paying attention, like you're listening. That so we're having this fighting to listen. We're having this more in our society, because we find it difficult to listen to some certain things where we're supposed to be paying attention and something. Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's a very critical, should I say critical topic to deal with, because we need to let them know.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, fighting to listen is a very critical subject to talk about. Yeah. And now this is it. Fighting to listen. When I say listen, you have to be silent to listen.
Exactly.
It's an act of being silent. You have to be silent before you'll be able to listen. And now this is where the twist is. The word listen are the same letters in the word silent, but they are spelled differently, right? Listen, LISTEN, right? And when you check silent, SILENT, the same words form silent and listen, but they are rearranged differently.
Because when you're listening, you have to be silent.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
So for the viewers out there, when you take your time, spell the word silent, spell the word listen, you see the same exact alphabet composed to form the word silent and listen, because you need to be silent to be able to listen. You know what I'm saying? Just like if I'm talking now, for you to listen to me, you need to stay silent.
Yes. Because if I'm talking, nobody's talking.
Thank you. So it feels like we're some type of marketplace. So fighting to listen, the modern age era right now, everybody feel they have an opinion. They want to say something. Everybody want to be heard. Everybody want to be heard. Not just everybody want to be heard, but everybody want to be the leader of the herd. Do you understand? They want to lead the crowd. Nobody wants to sit back, listen to what the next person is saying. And now then, when you check it in friendship, relationship, when there are disputes, is mostly as a result of nobody wants to listen.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Exactly.
Like if two people have some sort of differences, and the other person is talking while the other person is talking, nobody's listening, then they will never resolve that conflict. But in a situation where one person listens to the other person, I mean, when you're listening, right, there's what we call constructive listening, where you need to pay attention, because it takes paying attention to listen. For you to be able to listen properly, you need to pay attention.
Yes.
And now when you're paying something, you're sacrificing every other thing else for you to be able to listen. So I think it's a very critical subject to talk about. Most people need to amend their ways. As a matter of fact, there's this book called Ometa, written by Mario Puzo. I read that book. The meaning of Ometa is the act of listening, the act of silence, right? Yes, the act of silence. Trust me, 9 out of 10 times the conflicts or the problems we find ourselves in is because we
don't listen.
We don't listen.
Yes, exactly.
We don't stay silent and listen.
Yes, we don't understand.
Most of the time, you get me. So if people call you and like you, just take it for instance, someone is being apprehended by the police. They give you an advance warning. You have every right to stay silent. Because whatever you say might be used against you. So at that point, you want to explain. That is the point. You want to explain more, not listening to what they just said. So it's very important to listen.
Yeah, because I know that one thing about listening is it have a lot of negative effect on you if you don't listen, because you wouldn't even know. Sorry, excuse me. You don't even know when you're. You don't even know when God is talking to you, because when you don't listen, you won't understand when your environment is trying to communicate with you. You won't understand when your spiritual self is trying to tell you something and all that, because you've actually formed a habit of not listening, or you're fighting to listen. It's a very tough thing, Some people put their listening some people put pride in their listening. You understand? Why will I listen to this thing? Why will I listen to this? But what do you have to tell me?
Right.
I don't know if you understand. So pride enter.
Right.
So once that pride enters, you find it difficult that you communicating, listening to others, you are trapped in your own idea. I don't know if you understand. Then being trapped in your own idea sometimes, most of the times, you won't learn.
All right. We know.
Yeah, because listening creates an avenue to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I meet people for the first time, I spend maybe 70% of the time listening to them, because trust me, you learn new things when you listen.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Because me right now talking to you right now, I'm tapping from the wealth of my knowledge to share what I know already. But when I'm listening to you, I'm gaining from your own wealth of knowledge. So trust me, 9 out of 10 times I love to listen to people. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm a very good listener. Like I listen to people tell me, because
I just want to listen to you. Because I know for you to want to speak, you have something to say.
Thank you.
You understand? And you cannot just understand humans. You can't just judge people by how they look or how they dress. You have to judge them by what they have upstairs, their mentality. So sometimes I see people, maybe you see this guy smoking, or you see this person dressed like this, and you think that person doesn't have something to say. It's because you don't listen. If you listen, if you listen to this person, the person has something to tell you.
Absolutely.
That you will actually understand them being judgmental or sentimental about the whole situation.
And now, sorry to cut you short here. Let's say we go into a room, a board meeting type of room, and we're trying to negotiate some type of contract. And you have a group of maybe 4 or 5 of your board of directors, and we all go into that room. Trust me, the person that listens the most, that stays silent the most, that rarely even want to say anything, that's just listening to everybody talk. Trust me, your the other people on the table might probably think that's the decision maker, because there's this power that comes to listening, that comes with when you're silent. You just pay attention, you just listen, and people will be like, what's going through his mind? He's giving us this ultimate attention. He's listening to everything we're saying. Do you understand? So it's a very, very it's strong when you listen. So 9 out of 10 times, trust me, people find it difficult to listen. They fight listening, and that's because of, I think I might want to say, most times the environment has this influence in people, because if you come from dilapidated type of environment where you don't listen, you're just always you feel you have an opinion to say, you're always lousy, you're always talking. Trust me, sooner than later your words is going to hold no weight. And when you talk, people just be like, oh, this person is always talking, just don't worry, ignore him, he's not going to do none of what he's saying. But when you spend your time listening, you leave the other person talking to you in some sort of like parcel, like what's even thinking. So there's this strength, there's this inner strength, there's this ultimate strength that comes with when you listen.
Exactly. Right. Because when it comes to listening, you have to talk about humility also.
Okay.
Yeah, because that being humility is actually what makes you to listen. I don't know if you understand. Because humility, it's when you try to should I say humiliate yourself, like just be humble. Right. I don't know if you understand. When you becoming humble, then that is when you can actually try to listen then and pride and ego is a kind of and should I say a bad tool for listening. So when you allow your pride come in, that is just like I said, pride makes you not to actually pay attention, and that brings aggressiveness to it brings aggressiveness to you, because you are being aggressive because this person is talking and you don't want to listen to this person, and this person don't understand you don't want to listen, and this person is still talking. So it pumps out your aggression towards. So all those things are it's fighting us negatively.
But then again, there are disadvantage of listening. Like me personally, I don't listen to everybody.
Yes, that's one thing. Yes,
like if let's say for instance, I'm skipping through channels and I see someone talking that doesn't add moral values to the society, I switch it on.
Exactly.
If maybe I'm tossing through your WhatsApp status and I see that the type of videos you post are not informative, they're not informative, they're not educational, right? I just mute you right away. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's this thing they say, if you want somebody to control your mind, listen to them.
Exactly.
Right. So like before I will be able to have the capacity, the autonomous audacity to control your mind is when you pay so much attention to
you.
Right. So I give their disadvantages too of listening. If you want to brainwash someone, when the person listens to you 100% and you say things that are trash, you're likely going to brainwash that person. Right. So when it comes to listening, I don't listen to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, regardless, I mean, even regardless of who the person is, it's not everybody that talks to me that I listen to. I'm there I don't care who the person is, but if I figure out that the things you say 9 out of 10 times they don't make sense, I don't listen to you.
That is
what I'm saying.
Then that is when the vision comes in. Okay, so because I believe that when you have a vision and you know where you're going to, and then you've looked and you know that okay, this place you are going to, there are people that have been there, you understand, that have followed through this process and they were successful. That is when mentorship comes in, and these people are successful, and this is the people that you want to listen to. I don't know if you understand. And again, the people to listen to your mentors, I don't know if you understand. The people also to listen to your should I say people that motivate you, because
your inspirators.
Your inspirators, because in one or two ways there are people that is around you in one or two ways that actually, just like you said, people that doesn't say what makes sense, you mute them. So there are people that also say what makes sense also. I don't know if you understand. So it's now left for you to be able to differentiate what makes sense to you and what doesn't make sense to you.
And just to come into that, right? I mean, you need to have the power to be able to filter words that come out from people's mouth, because when you listen to people, automatically you're giving them access to your mind. I mean, it's not everything my dad or my mom tells me to do that I do, even though they brought me to this earth, right? I have mentors. It's not everything my mentors tell me to do that
also
I do.
You do,
You know, I have teachers. It's not everything my teachers tell me to do that. I even have pastors. I have preacher man, they tell me things. It's not everything they tell me that I do. You know, I filter these words. Of course I listen to them because I know they have some sort of important things to say, right? And then I filter it. So you should be able to be at this when you need to have the self-awareness of who you are.
Self-awareness of who you are, your self-identity.
Right. So when you have the self-awareness of who you are, you know the things you need to filter out and the things you need to act upon. Right. So when you have these things all solidify, you don't have situations when it comes to listening. I mean, you can listen to people talk for hours and then you filter the things you want to act upon, and then you dish throughout the rest of whatever they say, because everybody feel they're entitled to their opinion. So everyone needs to be mindful of the information they listen to and how they act upon them.
That's fact. That's true. Yeah, that is, I'm talking about what not to listen to, just like you said. You know, there are some, when it comes to social media has a very big influence in our mentality.
Right.
I don't know if you understand. So there are pitch. What you're listening to can also be what you watch. Fighting to listen for, because what you watch have an influence to your mentality, your listening mentality. So you are listening to what you watch. So then there are some things there are some pages you're not meant to be following. There are some things you're not meant to be watching. So social media is a kind of a tool for knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Right.
Yeah, because if I go to my Instagram, the things I see on my feed is different from what I know as most our today's youth. I don't know if you understand.
Right.
Because of the thing that I follow things that frame my mindset. I follow things that keep me on guard to my visions, to where I'm going to. You understand? So once I come in there, instead of me anxiety to come in, what comes in is positivity. My mindset renewal, because of the kind of things that I listen to or watch on my daily basis. I don't know if you understand. That have a very big power of influencing my mindset, like keeping me on the positive side of life. You know. Yeah, because I actually pay attention to them. The people that the kind of videos that I want to watch. You know, sometimes the music also you listen to. Yeah, the music you listen to. In our Nigerian music, what we believe is we just want to see who is at the number one. I don't know if you understand. We just enjoy the melody. We always put like there's no reality on the music. I don't know if you understand. There are some artists that bring reality to, like, they bring reality to their music, but they are they just not only people with sabi them.
Right.
I don't know if you understand. Talk about people like Emma, talk about people like Vector, talk about people like Show Them Camp, talk about people like Vector, talk about people like Ladipo, talk about people like Black Magi, talk about people like Ajibo Hustlers. You know, these people that sing, they bring reality to music. I don't know if you understand. Here they bring reality to music, like what they rap about, what they think about. If you read their lyrics, sometimes you understand that. Come on, these people are being connected.
Just a little dive on mindset on social media and on artists in general. Right. I mean, you need to once you have the proper mindset, you know when you go to the likes when you're in the social media space, you know what to filter out and what to filter in. Because 9 out of 10 times most you see most parents stopping their kids from excessive use of social media. But then again, social media is not even the problem, because these kids can learn how to do NFTs. The problem is the content you're watching on social media. The content they're paying attention to, what they're absorbing, what is going into their system. You know, and just referring that scenario to the whole musicians and all of those things. Right now, there's some certain artists that passes knowledge. You know, so you want to be in tune to the people that speak life into what you listen to, because now this is it. This is where listening has a very major toll in people's life. Your subconscious mind don't know what is real and what is fake. Do you understand? So when your subconscious mind is listening to people talk down on you, let's say if you're fond of being in environments where it's very competitive, people are always telling the person, oh, you've not done this. But the ladies, oh, you're not married, you're 30. Oh, you don't have a car, you're 25. Oh, you don't have a house, you're 30. You don't have this, you're 30. You're not. I mean, once you're in that atmosphere, your subconscious mind absorbs negativity. And guess what? 5-10 years down the line, that same occurrence is still going to be repetitive, except you change your mindset, except you change your environment, except you change the things you listen to, except you change the books you read. As a matter of fact, like, I mean, I love to read books, but I don't read all type of books. Like,
I don't read all type of books also.
You get me? So there should be some sort of, because I go for reviews, I'll be like, oh, what's the review on this book? If you recommend a book to me right now,
you go to the review post.
I go check online. I check the reviews, who wrote this book, the author. I want to know more about the author. How successful is this person? And now, trust me, like there are like 2 or 3 books that I read that really turned my life around. And I'm talking about books like The Magic of Believing by Cloud Bistro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
The Magic of Believing.
Yeah, The Magic of Believing by Cloud Bistro. Stranger's Secrets by
what is actually The Magic of Believing? Share a little bit.
Oh, okay.
The book, what the book is talking about, because I love that title, The Magic of Believing.
All right. Okay. The Magic of Believing is this, if you conceive a thing in your mind, and you believe that thing you conceive in your mind, you definitely must achieve it. That's just like summing up everything in that book. Like, just believing. Once you hold a particular thing, let's say for instance you have a certain countries you've never visited before, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go to the Bahamas, I'm going to go to Paris. before the end of this year, and you believe it. Because there's one thing when you say things you don't believe, your subconscious mind know when you're wishful, you're doing what we call wishful thinking. You know what I'm saying? But when you say words that you believe and you conceive it in your heart, you know what I'm saying? And how you conceive things in your heart is when you start putting work to making those things happen. You know, eventually you're going to achieve it. No matter what it is, it could be wealth, it could be a particular job, it could be your life partner, it could be your dream home, it could be your dream car. You have to believe in your heart. So once you understand the fact that believing on its own makes things work in a magical way, then whatever it is you want in life is going to come to pass. And another strong book that helps people in terms of mindsets, you know,
that book is worthy of reading.
The Stranger's Secret by Nightingale. I mean, that's a very awesome, amazing book.
By Nightingale.
Yeah.
Gay.
Nightingale. His name is Nightingale.
His
surname is Nightingale.
I thought you were talking about
like
gay.
gay.
What the fuck?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just a surname though. So I mean, it's amazing.
But you know, there's no better way of discovering the truth than listening.
Right. And it's a problem for the people. Most of the youths these days, they want to air their opinion. Not just youths, even adults, even grown-ups. They want to tell you they have something to say. And not knowing, listening is actually a skill. I feel listening is a skill.
It's a skill.
Because
humility is part of it.
Because if we go to some sort of, you see people even in some prestigious gatherings where they're supposed to just pay attention, you hear people having side thoughts. It's very difficult for the average human being to listen.
Exactly.
Do you understand? It's very difficult for the average human being to listen, and I think that's some type of meanness. You know what I'm saying? Like, people really need to work on the act of listening.
Exactly.
Because for you to learn, you need to listen. For you to understand, you need to listen. For you to be comprehended, you need to listen. Do you understand? So
listening revolves around our daily
communication boils and starts and ends on the leverage of listening.
Exactly.
So when people don't listen, trust me, it will be very difficult for communication to even take place, or a dialogue.
Even though I know that listening is a risk.
Right.
You know why I say so? Because you are trying to not believe in yourself at that moment, not believe in what you know, and giving another person the benefit of doubt of telling you what the truth is. So you are risking your belief to someone else's attention. I don't know if you understand.
Right.
Yeah, because before you listen to something, you think maybe you don't know this. I don't know if you understand. And you're trying to listen to somebody, impact in knowledge, impact in mentality, or impact one or two things to you. So you are risking, because you don't know what the person is about to impact. You understand? It's a risk that you are taking. And you understand? Because whatever the person say have a way of influencing your mentality or coming into your head, your subconscious mind, exactly. Yeah. So now it's kind of a risk that you want to. Come on, let me give this person listening.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you know, it's even sacrificial to listen.
Because you're sacrificing. Yes.
Because you need to sacrifice two things: either your time or your resources. Because let's say, for instance, you hear people often say the word "pay attention." Pay attention. I mean, when it's transactional when you're paying for something, right? It is often, most times, is even sacrificial when you pay for something, you know. And then you hear people say, "Let me even give this person a listening ear," because they want to listen. They are giving you something. They are giving you their time. And you know what they say about time? Time is money. You equate time with money. So when someone gives you 30 minutes of their precious time that they probably could have invested somewhere else and become a billionaire, and they give you 30 minutes of their precious time just to listen to you, and then you're not making sense, and then you're talking gibberish.
They have taken that risk.
I mean,
so now in their mind, this risk doesn't worth it.
Do you understand? It's just like going into a bad investment or going into a bad business. You know, so for you to want to be, if you're being placed in a place or where you need to speak, right, make sure that your words, what you're saying, they are congruent with what's happening in the normal day life, what people could relate to it. At the end of the day, let people feel let people feel blessed that you talk to them.
You
Let
talk to
people
them, exactly.
feel blessed that they listen
Listen
to
to
you.
you.
There should be some sort of
Let there be
take
value
home.
in your
Do
in
you
what
understand?
you yes. Just added value.
You
yes.
should. There should be some
Mhm.
sort of take home value in
Mhm.
whatever you say
You
to
said,
people,
yes.
regardless of how it is. Because
Mhm.
now, then again, the subconscious mind doesn't even know what is real and
What
is
is the
fake.
fake?
Do you understand?
Yes,
So
it's-
it's just like, for instance, let's say you're sleeping and someone is chasing you in the dream and you're running and you just wake up, you start sweating.
Exactly.
Trust me, it was a dream, but your subconscious mind thought that was real.
Yeah.
Like somebody was chasing your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So the subconscious mind doesn't really know what's real and what's artificial, what's fake.
Exactly.
So when you
It
allow,
only react to the content on your mind.
right? So when you allow the wrong words into your mind, the subconscious mind absorb it. When you allow the wrong informations into your system,
yes,
the subconscious mind absorb it.
Exactly.
And when the subconscious mind absorb it, it sends a signal into the universe that puts it into work. You know, and when the universe transforms these informations that comes through your subconscious mind, it begets your reality. It begets what happens to your future. So
Exactly.
you need to listen to words that are edifying. You need to listen to words that are amazing. You need to listen to words that will change your life.
You know, one of the truth is that, you know, we spend too much time covering our weakness when we don't listen. Yeah, we spend so much time instead of us to listen to become better or to replace those weaknesses. We spend so much time covering it up. Covering your weakness up is by not actually listening, because I don't believe that there's a problem without a solution.
Right.
Yeah, it's your if once you're able to pay attention to the solution of a problem, you get the problem solved.
Right.
Yeah, but when you decide not to give in, because having a solution is actually listening.
Right.
Yeah, and one thing amazing about listening is that, see, for you to be able to listen to God, you have to listen to one another.
Right.
Yes, you have to learn how to listen to each other. That is only when you can listen to God. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't practice the act of listening, how did you now listen?
You know, listening to God is a type of it's a different scenario in the sense, because when you listen to God, it's just like the universe talking to you. Do you understand? And there should be some sort of silence for you to be able to listen to the universe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, God talks to people in a different form. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's not just when the universe talks to you, it's God talking to you too. So it just depends on the picture. I mean, the religious people will say it's God talking to them. The scientific people will say it's the universe talking to them. You know, the knowledge people who will say it's their conscience talking to them.
Exactly.
You know, and the spiritualist will say it's their spirit man talking to them. So the names they call this form,
all the same thing.
They all mean the same thing, but it has different names because of the knowledge people have about
differently,
it.
Yes.
You know, and there's some sort of listening. I mean, you need to stay silent to listen. Just like I said earlier on, the words in silent and listen are the same words. You know what I'm saying? So you need to actually stay silent to listen to the supreme being talk to you, because if you keep fighting to listen, you won't even know.
Affect a lot of things about it.
Right.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
most times there's some everyday life that happens, and you have to most times you need to listen to yourself. And when you listen to yourself, it's not just yourself talking to you, it's your subconscious mind talking to you. And when your subconscious mind knows what you want more than what you want, your subconscious mind can sense evil like 5 seconds before you. That's why when you see some sort of ghastly accident about to happen, the person just swerved to the left or right. He doesn't even know how he did it.
The subconscious mind just took action.
Subconscious mind. Now the subconscious mind acts when the conscious mind is devoid of all actions.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when you listen, if you don't listen properly, you won't even know when your subconscious mind is telling you, no, don't go to the left, take right. And now I mean it might. And now this is how it is. When you disrespect your subconscious mind, when you don't listen to your subconscious mind 2, 3, 4, 5 times, it stops talking to you. And then that's when you see people keep making series of mistakes. Maybe in their friendship, they always have issues in their relationships, issues, their workplace. Seeing this person as a strong-headed person and no longer communicates with this person.
Exactly.
Because probably the person has refuse to listen maybe 2, 3, 4 times.
Exactly.
You get me? Like, and I mean, and the most powerful force any man can have on earth is the ability to listen to your subconscious mind, which is your gut, which is your spirit mind, which is the God in you talking.
I actually have a topic, the power of subconscious mind. I have it with a friend, Galazi. And there's a lot of things we actually unveiled, how to make, because he's someone that I've actually have that experience. He have this belief a lot, so he actually share his experience of how the belief works for him. So connecting to the power of your subconscious mind, like, it takes a lot, but if you're just intentional about it, you see it working out for you. It's just that the only problem that we are not intentional about most of the things we're supposed to be intentional about. We don't pay attention to the things we're supposed to pay attention to. So we allow the things that are not supposed to be problem become a problem. We allow the things that are not supposed to influence us, then leaving the things that are supposed to influence us not to influence us. We are kind of a little bit confused, because we are not getting any. We're confused about the whole thing, and
that has a lot of you see, influences has a lot to do with listening. When you listen to the wrong information, it influences you to do the wrong things. When you listen to the right information, it influences you to do the right thing. Yeah. So that's just how it works. So the power of listening. The power of listening is so dynamic that if you're listening to flaws, if you're listening to negativities keep happening in your life.
Exactly.
And when you listen to positivities, that's why I love it when I see people affirm. Affirmation is a very strong tool that every human being living on earth should actually practice. Because when you affirm, this is you talking to yourself by yourself.
So you should be mindful of when you man jackery on all those kinds of things.
Do you understand me? So now that's it. People take negative things all in the name of cruise. And now the subconscious mind doesn't know what's cruise and what's not
reality.
Cruise. Do you understand? So you hear people say, "Oh, we just catch cruise." They say all sort of rubbish to them.
Cruise is a kind of, you can use any situation and make joke out of it, but don't use it yourself.
Do you understand?
Don't use yourself. Yes, don't use yourself.
Right. And above everything, it's just like, even when you catch that cruise, you should still be conscious enough to negate it in your personal life. Because people just catch cruise, they just say all sort of things. You hear there's some trending songs. I might not want to even sing them right now, because I don't project.
They're negative.
You get me? Their lyrics is filled with negativity. Now I'm not even talking about worldly songs. There are worldly songs that are fantastic. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about songs that has this negative impact on yourself. Of course, you're vibing, you're feeling yourself, you're feeling all jiggy, right? But your subconscious mind is being tortured. Your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind can't really tell
that this music.
This guy is just
singing and vibing. Yeah, he's taking in what you are giving.
Your subconscious mind is processing it. And now there's this antenna that connects the subconscious mind to the universe.
Exactly.
And it's transferring these signals to the universe. Oh, this person is constantly saying, "Oh, I don't have money," and it's connecting with the universe. The universe is bringing so much lack into your life because you are affirming it. You know what I'm saying?
You're connecting it to your life.
Do you understand me?
Exactly.
But when you sing those positive lyrical type of songs, or you affirm positivities into your life, the same thing is happening too, but now this is the trick. People will be like, "Oh, I've been saying words like," even the Bible tells you, "Let the weak say I'm strong, let the sick say I'm well, let the poor say I'm rich." Do you understand? The thing, what people don't really know is that there are books that were written before us that was designed for us to read and change our life. Like, look, I've read the Bible from page 1 to end, and now I didn't read it as a pastor. I read it as someone that's seeking for knowledge. I've literally read every, and now this is because I want to learn something. I want to learn something, you know what I'm saying? And all the secrets in our life is being written down in the Bible. And now I'm not coming from the religious point of view. I'm coming from the more intellectual point of view. I'm coming from the more educated point of view. I'm coming from someone that's self-aware of his
Of
actions. I'm
action, yeah.
intentional about the things I read.
Mhm.
You know, whenever I feel down and I don't have the right books to read, I can just read a verse or a page in the Bible, and I feel
Exactly.
all energized up.
Yeah.
Right. So now, like, people should be conscious of the informations they take into themselves. You know,
Exactly.
the information they process, what they listen to, what they play, all of these things sum up to we are as a product of our thoughts. And now what's going to influence your thoughts is what you've been listening to.
Yeah.
So if
What you have accepted inside you.
do you understand?
Yeah.
So if you affirm positivity,
Positive things happen to you.
positive things happen to you, and vice versa. So that's just
This is awesome. What an awesome topic. Thank you
Right.
very much, Praise. Thank you very much for your time, for the knowledge you share. I so much appreciate that, at least for telling the next generation. Of course, we all know now, we can understand better. If you're fighting to listen, how you're going to be better than that. And it's not necessary that we stop fighting to listen. You understand? You have to stop fighting to listen. You have to be intentional about life. You have to be intentional about what you do. You have to be intentional about what you listen to, what you play, the kind of thing you engage yourself in. You understand? So it's going to help you a lot in growing. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching. And if you're watching via YouTube, please do me just one favor: subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification button, and share my videos. That is the only way you can support me, and I'll be so grateful. So if you're listening via any podcast channel, please just still do me this favor: follow, subscribe, share the content as much as you can to your contacts or anyone via social media, please. And if you want to connect to anyone that I'm on with the show, their social media handle is always on the description. You can connect to them. You can connect to Priest. If you want to talk to Priest, you want to connect with him. Of course, he's a digital trader. He trades forex, currency, all kind of currencies. You want to connect with him, know more about him, you can connect with him via his handle on my description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you. God bless you, my guys. God bless you.
Nice one.
Yeah, nice one, bro. Nice one. Nice one. Cheers. So that's not